Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm so glad to have you with us today. I would like to introduce you to my friend. We have been friends for many years. That's another story. That is a side story. But today we're going to be talking to you about your health because true wealth is health. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your right mind or your body to live it out, you are not wealthy at all. That's indeed true. So, if you don't know me, my name is Lady Farley. I am the CEO of the FPI Network and the founder of the 100 Women Strong Movement. And today with me, we have, I like to call her the guru. She's here for nutritional information. She's going to provide us with information that will indeed lead you, cause you to lead a healthier and better life. So, without delay, my friend, Miss Judith. So, Judith, just tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Minnie, before we get started, I want to thank you for this opportunity, stretching my muscles a bit. I am grateful and humbled to be here. Um, and again, it is a side story how we met and how we have maintained friendship, which we will talk later about relationship. It is a form of nourishment. So, as Minnie said, my name is Judith. I'm Judith Ridley. I am the founder of the Nutrition Wellness Plate. A little backstory. So, I was born in England by way of Jamaican parents, moved to Canada, then to Jamaica. So, most of my tertiary education was in Jamaica. At an early age, a little bit about me is people realized that I was a nurturer, and they used to call me the little Florence Nightingale because at the age of 10, between 10 and 14, I would visit the shut-ins, the ladies who have no one to care for them. And my friend and I, we used to go to their house, cook their meals, bathe them, take their clothes to the river and wash it. And that's where my passion for, again, nutrition off the plate started. Fast forward, in 2000 during the pandemic, or backtrack, the window into nutrition for me was I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. And at that time, I was gifted a nutritionist, and she piqued my interest heavily into learning about nutrition. I studied everything from glycemic index loaded food, um, what stimulates hormones, what makes it put you in a feel good position. And as such, I was on insulin 3 times a day, went up to 4 times a day. And the doctor said after birth, it would normally go away or it could stay and you would be be a full blown diabetic. Well, I was one of those. So I had myself giving myself insulin 4 times a day. And I got curious. My mom's diabetic, my brother's diabetic, my father's family, everyone has diabetes. And I thought, I don't have to write the same script. And I became very hungry, very thirsty into nutrition. It wasn't a bore, I was inquisitive. And I started doing my research around food. And of such, I went to the doctor and he said, well, we can lower your dose of insulin. And I continued on my road. And I tried to explain, this is what I'm doing. And he said, well, maybe the cocktail that you're having is working. So let's just stick with that. This is the thing. He didn't want to hear my journey, what I was doing. So I continued. And when I did my lab, it was from a 7.8 from a my family's texting and it's coming through my computer. Wrong. Distraction. From a 7.8, I went to a 6.5. They said, oh, well, you're now pre-diabetic. We could put you on metformin. I was taking metformin and I started to have like adrenal overload. I felt lethargic. I didn't feel good. And because I was doing my diet and working on myself, the metformin would make my blood sugar go too low. Fast forward to that, it's been 8 years since I'm medication free. So I am here to tell you that we are what we eat. And if we've been given a sentence, we don't have to accept it. We are our biggest advocate when it comes to nutrition. We can be inquisitive. We can ask questions. And if we don't get the answer here, we could move on to somewhere else and learn for yourself. During the pandemic, I decided to embark on a wellness coach journey. I'm going to pause for 1 second and just tell them stop texting.
Okay, I think that, yeah, it's coming through, interfering with your phone, because someone just said in the chat that it's a little choppy. So it just could be the messaging.
Yeah. And I honestly do not know how to turn it off on my computer because my phone is on silent.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm looking at it from YouTube and it looks good. So it's probably just when the messages come through, it's just a bit of a blip. But I want to interrupt you if I may, because you said something that I think is how most people find themselves on their health journey, is that something interrupts that their wellness, something interrupts their health, and then the light goes off. How do I address this? How do I get control of it? I think that too often, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I think that too often we just say, the doctors say, take this medication, and we just begin to down it, not worried about side effects or what else it's affecting. But
and you just opened the door. What society has done to us nowadays is use drugs to empower us. When you go to the doctor, and fun fact, doctors in med school only have 20 hours of nutrition. So they're not trained to discuss nutrition. Not at all. So when you go to the doctor and he'll say, well, your lab work is back. And let's say your vitamin D levels are supposed to be between 30 and 100. If you're 31, your results is 31, they say you're okay. But what about considering optimal health and say, why couldn't I be in the 70s? Because that's a better result. But they are focused on the numbers and not the person on a whole. Who agrees with me that when you go to the doctor, they are so busy, they don't have the time to sit down and say, well, Judith or Miss Ridley, how are you doing today? Here are your lab results. Tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. What's your lifestyle like? They get the results and they say, well, okay, we're going to put you on metformin, and that should help you. And you go on your merry way and you feel empowered by having this cocktail that's going to help me. So if I was eating a bagel, and fun fact, one bagel is equivalent to 5 slices of bread.
I fainted.
One bagel.
I fainted.
and you go and you say, okay, Well, I'm going to have my bagel this morning and I'm going to have my eggs and because I'm taking the metformin. That's how they use drugs to empower us. Not saying, okay, your levels are here. How about we assign you a nutrition counselor to speak to you then about your diet and your lifestyle? And then we'll test again in 3 to 6 months and see where you are, depending on if you went and the results were like borderline, then you wouldn't, you could encourage that for them. If it was really high, you could go ahead and prescribe your medication, but also educate the patient on nutrition and lifestyle. And as I often say, nutrition is both on and off the plate. How you feel greatly influences what you put on your plate every day.
Wrote that down. Nutrition is on and off the plate.
Absolutely, it is. And for the in the ebook, you will be able to dive a little bit deeper into the introduction of nutrition being on and off the plate. If I get up this morning, stay with me for 2 seconds on this, Minnie. I get up this morning and I decided I was going to go for a walk. Or let's dial it back a little bit. I got up, I opened my eyes. I'm still in bed. And I say, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. A gratitude lifestyle. Gratitude is the language of those who live in abundance. We are not the ones that sees the glass as half empty. It's always going to be half full. So don't think about what you lost. Think about the present. If we are in the present, we're giving thanks for the present, which prepares us for what's coming. Instead of waking up and you go, oh my God, I have to go to work. I have to, and you, oh my gosh, the kids have to be ready. Or, oh, I'm just so sick and tired of going to work. You wake up this morning. This is how you think about your day. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. I give gratitude. I thank you for today. I thank you for breath. I thank you for sight. I thank you for smell. I thank you for touch. This is the body that you were born with. It is a gift. And when you have this gift, never see it as a struggle. Acceptance is the first place in life to establishing gratitude. So we go back again. I thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. You get up, you go in the kitchen, you're going to break your fast. What is the best way to break your fast? We call it God's internal shower. Okay? We get up, we take a shower, we lotion, we feel good. But what about internally? Some lemon water or fresh juice. Just think of how you feel when that shower hits your body, be it warm, be it cold, and how you feel. Think about your organs. Overnight, your organs were in a rest and repair, rest and digest session. How do you wake it up? You wake it up with a bagel. Now, I am not here to down a particular food. What I'm focusing on is how we want to wake it up. You wake it up softer, right? So the engine was resting. And if you want it to move, you're going to put a little bit of oil in there because it probably got corroded. You never know, right? And you put a little oil in there and turn it, and whoops, it's all good. It's the same way we consider our internal organs. When we're not eating and we're in a fasting mode, we're allowing our organs, your digestive system works the hardest. So when it's not eating and not working, it's resting and repairing. You wake it up with some lemon water. Let's just keep it simple. Lemon water, or I like to grate ginger and put it in ice cubes. And what I would do is in the morning, I'll pluck out one of those ice cubes, put some lemon juice in it, and put make me a cup of boiling water in it, and I sip that. And that's waking me up. Why? The acid in the lemon, once it hits the body, it alkalizes. The ginger is an inflammation fighter. So we put that in the body first up. What is the body saying? I'm fuzzy and I feel good because I was just being treated. So now my outside is matching my inside, and now I'm ready to radiate that inner glow from the inside out.
Okay. Can I put a pin right there?
100%. Go ahead.
Because and that was that was one of the questions. I just went back and checked a little, like after I sent you some, the questions, I checked back, there were more questions, but one of the it looks like multiple people have asked this same question, and I'm reading it. It says, my body is used to caffeine in the morning. How do I change it and get the same outcome, the same benefits?
Okay. Caffeine is like drinking battery acid.
Oh God, you got to kill me.
No. There's no such thing as perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Perfection is only an idea, not a reality. So, if you're going to consume, let's say we start our morning not with caffeine. Why? Because your stomach acid is like a 0.6. If you should cut your stomach open, the acid in there would literally burn you, because the acid in your stomach is prepared and there to break food down. So think of the first thing you give that stomach in the morning: battery acid. What is that doing to your stomach? Churning and eating and also creating leaky gut. So to
Oh,
start your morning, cacao powder, cacao, not cocoa. The O at the end tells you that the powder is medicinal. It's not cocoa powder, it's cacao. So that in the morning, if you want to make yourself a smoothie, you can put your cacao powder in there. There's well, I'm not going to say it because I can't pronounce it and I cannot remember the name, but there are other ways to get your caffeine jolt in the mornings. If you're going to have coffee, I suggest you have something before the coffee is the first thing you ingest. Let's alkalize my body with my lemon water.
okay. So,
Right?
and give your stomach or give your digestive system a coating before you put battery acid on it, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I guess that's how ulcers are
Oh,
really.
absolutely.
Oh wow. Mm.
Absolutely. A fun fact, I used to be a very strong coffee drinker when we were together. I would start my day with a double shot espresso, and by 10:30, 11, I would have a flat white with, if I have a grande, the flat white has 3 shots of espresso. I would add 2 to it. Yes. And by 3 o'clock, because remember, they had just opened up Starbucks where we were. And by 3 p.m., it was a relationship thing. Yeah. And I would go down and I would meet my friend, and we would have another flat white, and I would put another 2 shots in it. And at that time, I was also a smoker. And I ended up with ulcers. When I did my endoscopy, my doctor put me on, and I can say it, Dexalent. Dexalent and Nexium. And those are things you can't take for long term.
Right.
I decided that that was not going to be the road for me.
Mhm.
I mixed honey, cayenne pepper, cayenne pepper, which people think, oh, it's going to burn, but it's also alkalizing and it's also inflammation reducing. I mixed honey, cayenne pepper, lemon, and I had that for tea for 6 months. When I went back and I repeated my endoscopy, he showed me I didn't even have scarring from my ulcers. His response to me was, oh, Judith, this is a good cocktail for you. Don't change it. And I said, what if I told you I didn't take it? He said, well, I don't want to know what you did, but just don't stop. Because let's be honest, if everyone was supposed to, if every doctor was supposed to say, go the herbal way, go the plant based way, go the holistic way, they would never be able to pay off their student loans. Nobody would want to be in their chair.
True. True. True.
Big Pharma would be very upset.
True.
So at times, I encourage each and every one of us. I will never say all of you because I'm a work in progress. I would encourage all of us to be inquisitive, to be nosy. My body is my partner in success. Listen to it because it talks. Symptoms, when you go to the doctor with a symptom, if you stop and think, that problem was there all way before that. When you have a symptom, it already has manifested itself and be deep rooted. So you need to listen to your body. Ask it questions. Be nosy. Be intimate with your bodies.
That Judith, that kind of well, I have two thoughts, and the first one is the culture. Like, coffee is such a social culture. We don't make health or wellness a social culture. You know, it's something that, like you, like myself, I did the same thing as you. One of my doctors gave me a prescription, and instead of taking it, I took garlic and ginger, and immediately reversed what was going on in my body. And then the doctor said, oh, I told you this would work. And I never said anything, just, because, we, like you said, um, not medicine, not healthcare, but illness is a business. It's an industry that is being profited from. And it's unfortunate there aren't, like you said, doctors only take 20 hours of nutrition. I could get 20 hours on my phone, just zoom, zoom, zoom,
Yeah.
find information. So it's pretty unfortunate that is our healthcare system. But what you just spoke about reminds me of one of the questions asked by Asha, actually, because she wanted to know this. If you are experiencing, let's say, discomfort in your body, for people who are watching and they're saying, I feel maybe it's burning in the stomach, or maybe it's frequent headaches, or maybe it's something like constipation, or maybe even the opposite, a loose bowel system, or something, discoloration, or terrible odors in their urine. Those are signs, right? Uh,
Yes.
Something being wrong, something being off the body, as you put it, like a tool, like a working instrument. There's something wrong, that instrument is possibly having issues. What is your suggestion that person do first?
I would chart it. That's a very, very, very loaded and very great question. I would chart it where I got up today, um, and segue to this. We should be very engaged with our urine and our stool. Be nosy. Don't just get up and wipe and flush and wash and go out the door. You need to turn around. I was taught that from an early age because my dad died when I was 5, and my dad died from ulcers. And he had internal bleeding. And he kept seeing the stool being dark, getting darker, getting pastier. When you flush, it's sitting in the toilet as residue. And he never did anything about it. He just said it to my mom. And it wasn't until he felt like, you have post-nasal drip, and he did, and he spat and he realized it was blood. When he was rushed to the hospital, when they opened up his stomach, they just closed it back because there was nothing, it was in all sores. So yes, it is very good to listen to your body. If you're experiencing loose bowel, chart it. Make just 2 days of a food log to see, what are you eating? What has changed? What did I have today? You chart that. If you're constipated, try to incorporate a little bit more fiber in your diet. Cruciferous vegetables are very fibrous, right? Try to do that. Also, diarrhea is also a form of constipation. So, therefore, it could also be, I am not a doctor, but it can also be that your body is suffering from dehydration. You get up and you have a headache. You think about it. What did I have yesterday? Check in with yourself. Where is your stress level? How am I breathing? How many hours of sleep did I get? Did I turn around quickly and I felt lightheaded? That persists 2, 3 days. You need to go to the doctor. But you are your educated consumer. When I go to the doctor, my phone has a list. And when he's trying to shoo me out the door, I go, I have one more question. Because at the end of the day, I am paying you. And at the end of the day, I am my biggest advocate. So I have to ask all these questions. When your body is not performing optimally as it normally does, you should take heed. The best way is to chart it, log it. What are you eating? Do less of, if you eat something today and you felt a little off or you felt a little bloated, Take that out the diet tomorrow. And whenever we're feeling a little, I like to call it off, try to mono meal. So
My,
we're going to mono meal, mono meaning one, right? So if you're going to go into fruits, a lot of time fruits get a really bad rap for people with diabetes, people trying to watch their sugar. Fruits, when consumed, enters the body at the cellular level. Processed food and processed sugars are totally different. The fruit is your friend, and when you're trying to heal, the more hydrating fruit you consume is the better. You have cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, celery,
mhm.
and I've always said with the watermelon, eat it alone or leave it alone, leave it alone. But the reason for that is watermelon is its highest hydrating fruit ever. So when you combine it with this, that, and all these things, then it doesn't enter your body at the cellular level. Watermelon flushes your kidneys. Watermelon reduces inflammation. Watermelon provides energy. And if you're having it in a juice form, it goes in, it does what it does, and it has to go out. When you urinate, again, I know I sound like I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get it all in. When we go to the bathroom and we urinate and it's clear, it is not a blessing. Think of the frying pan. You fry the egg, you just wash it out. You fry the chicken, you just wash it out. But all that corrosion is still sitting in the bottom of the pan. If you put water on it and you throw it out, it's going to come out clean. But all that corrosion is still in the pan. That's what our body is when our kidneys, our lymphatic system is backed up. Our lymphatic system is a drainage, it's a sewer system that everything else that our body doesn't want goes right there. And if we don't activate it, where does it go? The kidney doesn't filter properly.
Mm.
When you pee and you get little bubbles, you realize that you're releasing acid and you're cleaning from the dump. So having a clean, nice, shiny, bright, watery looking urine, listen, we're just scratching the surface, okay? It needs to have a little color, have those little bubbles that's telling you that you're expelling the acid in your body and alkalization is taking place. And that's, do you have a question, Minnie?
No, I'm like that is so true. And I know you said it. One of the comments here, you said it that you are not a doctor, but one of the comments is like, this is something that our parents taught us, like our parents taught us from, like these are the, and I don't want to, I know people are sensitive. I apologize in advance if you have a weak stomach and you're hearing the word poop and urine. Newsflash, we all do it. And if you don't, you're sick. But nevertheless, um, our parents, they when we were younger, they would do things like check our stool and check to see how we're doing, because those are tell signs. And I know that in modern society, these are things that we don't want to talk about, we don't want to hear about, we don't want to look at it. It's so gross, it's ew ew ew. But the truth of the matter is that these are key indicators of what's happening on the inside of your body. And I never thought about the inside of my body so much, Judith, as when I got sick. As then I got sick, and then I began to wonder, like, when I was in St. John's Hospital, they literally almost killed me. They were giving me a medication that was shutting my kidneys down. So I was in the hospital dying because my kidneys were shutting down. And after that, I began to wonder, how do I keep my kidney clean? Because of course now at risk of anything happening to my kidneys, any type of medication. I could, lose my kidney function, which we don't want that. But something that you said really, it stands out to me, and I want everyone to at least walk. We're going to open the floor. I see your comments, but we're going to open the floor in a moment because, like Judith says, she has given us a wealth of information. I really feel like, Judith, this is a second part because, how do you manage the information you're getting now without putting it into practice? So I think that people need to, at a minimum, everyone joining today is going to get your ebook. I think they need to read through the book and then we come back. So go through the ebook and come back. But like I said, one of the things you said that really is vital to me. And as a social entrepreneur and as an educator, one of the things that I really believe in is being an advocate for oneself. Of, you practicing using your voice for your own power and for your own empowerment. And I just believe that it's really unfortunate that there is a culture in America between and I don't know the nice way to say this, but what I notice is that we as people of color, African Americans, we eat like the people from the slave era. We eat according to our slave ancestors, not our true selves, where the continent is full of veggies, seafood. That's how we normally eat. And I always tell people, as a Nigerian American, I don't eat a lot of the traditional foods. Like I don't fry food. I don't fry a lot of food. I don't fry chicken. Like, it's not a big thing. We have to go out to get fried chicken. I don't do that. I don't do a lot of sugars. Well, I eat sugar because I love sugar. I'm a candy person. Unfortunately, I'm working. Y'all pray for me. But I don't eat the way a lot of African or Black Americans eat. I think that the culture between food and foods, it plays a big role in our health. You said that, and I'm gonna keep this. May tattoo this on my arm, but nutrition is both on the plate and off the plate. Nutrition is the relationship between our nutrition and us as a society or as a people has a lot to do with culture. Like, I've watched, Judith, I've watched 100 videos where TikTok is showing you how to fry a Twinkie, with an Oreo on top, how to fry a Twinkie with an Oreo and a slice of cake on top. Like, this is our culture. But I think it's time that, like what you're doing is so important to spread information, because true information is true power, right? So
Yeah.
a lot. Let me just read some of these statements here. And I have my phone so far away. My laptop is set on something else, so I don't want to interrupt and go there. That's why you guys see me standing up and sitting back down. Miss Jones says, "What bubbles? Bubbles what?" You talking about the urine? When Judith was talking about your urine should be alkaline. So that, Judith, is that the bubbles you're talking about, right?
I think that's what she was asking. So what I mean is, when you go to the bathroom and you see the bubbles in the toilet after you pee, you know that your body is expelling acid. That's what that is.
Oh, I never checked that. I don't think I've even. Sorry, I'm sliding. But wait, so, hold on. So there are bubbles in the toilet after you urinate because
Oh, yeah.
it's the body flushing out.
It's the body flushing out. That means your lymphatic system is working.
Okay, okay,
You know what I mean? It's not stagnant. It's getting rid of the acid. It's getting rid of the waste.
okay.
Yeah. So when you pee like that, I have gone where there are stages where I can tell you if my blood sugar is high by if I pee and the pee looks a little syrupy, like bubbles, but tiny, teeny bubbles. I realize that I need to tap in. I need to flush. I need to go in a little bit better. That means I need to hydrate more. It's just like when you're going to the doctor, and if you're going to do your lab work and they can't get the blood, my daughter has that. She's dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out in glob, and they'll tell her, you need to go drink and come back in 2 hours later. Minnie, oh, what happened? Okay. I thought I lost you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No. If they can hear me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So I'm going to keep talking while you remedy that because we're kind of getting on the top of the hour. Um, Again, Minnie said it's for another session, but what I really want to also encourage is your state of mind dictates what you put on your plate. How you feel greatly influences what you put on your plate. If I go to the, if again, let's go back. I got up this morning. I said, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. That alone sets the tone for my day. It really sets the tone for my day. So I get up, I have my lemon and my ginger and my water, and I head on to work, blah, blah, blah. And I go in and I'm being present, giving thanks day in, all day. My mood sets the tone for what I want to have for lunch. I can have a salad, but we give salad a bad name. Just eating lettuce and chewing on spinach, we take it to punishment. So we use the food as punished, not nourished, because we don't have the mindset attached to it as a gratitude state, right? Meaning, when you go to the doctor and they say you need to lose weight, and us women, my mission is to encourage us to shift the focus from the numbers on the scale to embracing a whole person health. There is no one size that fit all. So I'm a nutrition, I'm a mindset, holistic health and wellness nutrition coach. You look at me, you go, oh, but she's a little bit chunky. What's the definition of health? The scale is not the definition of health. The scale is a tool and an indicator coupled with authenticity and honesty. If you can bend down and tie your shoes and you don't feel like your belly, your stomach is pushing up into your lungs, yeah, you're okay. But if every day you get down to tie your legs and you go, come on, be honest with yourself. You need to do something. So I'm sure we have male on this call, but let me just address our queens for a second. There is no one size that fits all. We're not all made to be size 0. But what we need to do is embrace honesty, authenticity, and integrity. Listen to your body and tell yourself, okay, I get up this morning and I move a little. Just stretching on a whole is good enough. Really get up and really stretch your body, because guess what? When you start making one small change, one small sustainable shift, it sets you up on a better trajectory for better health and wellness. When the mind, the body, and the spirit is connected, health flourishes in harmony. So if I go out there and the doctor said, oh my gosh, you need to lose weight. And I go, oh my God, look at that nice pizza, or look at it. Oh, I can't eat that because the doctor said I need to lose weight. And I'm sitting here and I'm eating this lettuce and I'm punishing myself. Why am I punishing myself? Because literally your mind is saying, this is torture. Take the mind down to the gut, which is our second brain. It's not in a rest and digest session or state. It's in a fight or flight, or it's in an angry state. The body metabolizes food differently when your state of mind is in struggles. I know you can hear me now, Minnie, because you're number 2.
Yeah, I've always heard you. My problem is that someone keeps calling me.
Okay, so you can go back. Okay. No, now I can't hear you. I heard you before, but there was an echo.
Fran is out there laughing at me instead of helping me. She's out there laughing. But are you going to hear an echo? I apologize.
So you can mute it until you have a question.
No. Okay. No, but
Hey, gorgeous. That face. Okay, I'm gonna continue talking. Um, um, while we're kind of getting on the end of it, here's my encouragement. One small sustainable shift brings about a big win. If you're someone who does not like to drink water, tell yourself, I'm going to consciously sip my water. And when you sip it, be mindful about it. Try to be present about it. Yep. You give thanks while you sip your water. Every day, challenge yourself to having an extra cup. So now I don't know if anyone can hear, but I'm going to continue talking. So let me think of 5 ways to get back to basic. Oh, we're good now? Awesome. I'll keep talking. Okay. So 5 ways to get back to basic is to stay hydrated. You'd be surprised the benefit of having a hydrated body, how well it functions. A lot of people don't like water. If you're a fan of cucumber juice, it could be your friend. Add a little ginger in your cucumber juice or smoothie. Mint, and if you want to take it to the next level, you could swap out the mint and you could use basil. Basil is absolutely harmonizing. Basil is absolutely a beautiful herb for the body. So think of ways to stay hydrated on a daily basis. Getting back to basics is, if you don't mono meal, but don't confuse the plate. So let's say you're a person, I struggle with rice and bread. I have no control when I have rice and I have bread. So I've learned to what I call, which I learned is crowding out. On my plate, if I'm going to have rice, I start with layering the salad on the bottom. I'm a plant-based person, so um, I don't have meat. I start layering the bottom with my lettuce. I like romaine lettuce, kale. I like to massage my kale to break it down a little bit for it to be more easily absorbed into the body. So I massage it with a little bit of pink Himalayan salt or the Celtic salt. Celtic salt is super high in magnesium, which is optimal for our body. If you have a headache and you put a few grains of Celtic salt in your hand, even for migraine sufferers, and you intake those few crystals, and then you sip your water, you'd be surprised how hydrated and how that magnesium gets directly delivered to your cell at a cellular level. And you could literally see your headache, feel your headache dissipating little at a time, just from that one those few crystals of Celtic salt.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
100%.
Okay, great. I'm so sorry. I have a student that I normally tutor at that time at 12:30, and they kept calling. So they keep calling. It's interrupting. I'm kicked off, but
Yeah.
I just want to because I see we are closing down on a time. But Dr. Hollis asked, "Is there if you drink alkaline water, is that good? Like, is that a good thing to be doing?"
Alkaline water is normally sometimes treated, but it is not bad. The distilled water is also a better choice. But the alkaline water is not bad at all. And if you drink this distilled water, you can add.
Money for the alkaline machine. I'm like, wait, so I paid all that money for that alkaline machine?
No, 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 no. Don't knock it. Do
Okay.
not knock it.
Okay.
Do not knock it. Do not knock it at all. It is not. Let me go with my belief,
Yes.
coupled with knowledge. The alkaline water is a good way to go. 100%. Okay. If you don't, you can have distilled water and you can add your lemon. Distilled water actually pulls toxins from the body. So it's recommended, not a must, but recommended to kind of switch things up a little bit sometimes. It's like you're going to the gym and you start working out and doing the same exact routine day in, day out. After a while, your body you don't see the difference. You don't reap the benefits. You need to switch it up. So let me correct that and say, absolutely, alkaline water, optimal. Switch it sometimes with distilled water. I can't hear you now. I'm not hearing. Okay, so until you come back, I was talking about the just going back to basics, staying hydrated, um, eating a lot more veggies. So when I won't tell you how old I am, but yes, I'm up there. I'm the senior citizen. Is that how to say it? I'm a senior citizen. But realistically, how our parents ate. So it's different. The food was more authentic. The food was much more cleaner than it is today because we are looking at an overpopulated world. Society, United States of America. And in order to keep up with the supply and demand, they force feed things, right? They spray glyphosate in the soil. It's very rare that you can find regenerative farming. Okay? Regenerative farming is okay, you harvest and you give that particular soil time to turn over and be good again. We don't have time for that. So what do? We spray glyphosate, we have Roundup, and all those things, they create dis-ease in our body, leading to chronic illnesses, cancer, diabetes. The food we eat today is not as it was when our mom and dad ate it. It's not as clean. So you could have your rice from back then. Now, the way it's harvested, the way it's processed is a total different um, routine or setup, or I can't find the word, but it's different than it is today. So the food does not have the same integrity as it was back in the day. Now, I want to also say, know your fruits and veggies with labeling. When you go to the supermarket or you go to the when the
Oh my
produce
God.
section, the number 4 is saying on the fruit, it's 4 numbers, but it begins with a 4. It's a conventional herbicide, fungicide, pesticide sprayed food. Leave it alone. If it's 8, it is GMO. If it's 9, it is organic. Now, there are certain foods that people monetize and certain, I don't even know what to say. It's hello, I think we're frozen, but I'm going to keep talking. You will come back. Oh,
Okay, we're not frozen, but
okay.
let me just say this because I have to. Apparently, all my students didn't get the memo, but let me say this. That was one of the questions about some of the foods and things being different, not feeling the same. I think you touched on that. I heard you say that. Dr. Hollis wants to know, how can everyone follow you? How can we stay in touch with you? And there also was a question on, where do you get distilled water from? I buy distilled water from the pharmacy. They have it, right?
So I buy distilled water from Costco.
Okay.
I have a distiller. No, I'm in the process of buying a distiller, but it's a countertop one, and I'm gonna look up. It has great reviews. One of my mentor actually has one. Um, I just the reason I'm holding off from buying it is I know they won't put the water in it. If it was me alone, it'd be different. But I'll also put that there. But to follow me, I'm on Facebook. My Facebook page is the Nutrition Wellness Plate. The Nutrition Wellness Plate um, on my Facebook page. On Instagram, I have 2. I have one which is the Nutrition Wellness Plate, and I also have the Nourishment Garden. Now, any one of those you can follow me on, and in any one of those, please DM or inbox your email address,
Hmm.
and I will have the ebook out to you.
Yes. I also wanted to say, because aside from my students calling, FaceTime calling me and kicking me off my own meeting here today, thank you for your patience. Thank you all for bearing with me. You know, the life of a mom and an educator is just never, we never have enough time. There's nothing goes well. There's something, always a monkey throwing a wrench into the show. But I wanted to thank you, Judith, and I wanted to tell everyone who was here today with us, you do qualify for your free ebook by Judith. And if you do just as she said. You can follow her on her social media accounts, and you can message her your email address, and she will get you your free ebook out to you. And I just wanted to right there let you know that this ebook is valued, I'm going to say, at a minimum of $20, because there's not an ebook that you can get on Amazon or anywhere else for under $20, especially one pertaining to nutrition as your wealth. And I know we could go on forever. I do see questions. I do see your comments. The ebook will be sent to you. We just said that. The ebook will be sent to you. There are other questions that we don't have the time today to address, because I'm off to save the world. And I know that some of you are out there saving the world as well. So because you are in the world, it is a better place. Miss Judith Ridley, I thank you. I love you. This information is so priceless. People could not pay for this information. The information that you have shared with us today is invaluable. I honestly know for a fact that some of the information that you have given to us, people have paid to get that same information. So I want to thank you for your time, and thank you for putting up with my glitches. We were just talking early, like Murphy's Law. Who knows?
Technical challenges, it
It, it
happens.
happens all the time. Have to figure out how to well, going forward, the next time no one responds, my students, I'm just going to call them, show them how it feels. I'm going to call you on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. But anyway, I thank you all for your time here today. I don't know. I know I don't have to take a poll. I know that we have to get Miss Judy. We have to get her back. We have to get her back, because this was just like, I feel, the tip of the iceberg. It's not even halfway at the halfway mark. There's just so much information out there, but I always believe in getting your information from a reliable resource. That's what we do here at the FPI Network. We bring to you professionals, and I think that what makes us really, really on the insider track is having someone who have lived what they're teaching, lived what they're preaching. They have lived it, so they're able to tell you the reality side of it, not the pharmaceutical side, the let me get in your wallet side of it, point of view. So with that being said, I'm going to end us, and thank you again. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
I would just like to leave you all with remembering the quote from Toni Morrison: "You are your most important thing. You are the best gift in the world. This body that you have, it's a gift that has carried you from birth to today. Show it love. Be gentle. Again, be intimate. Be loving. Be accepting. Accept you, and then start to change with small, sustainable shifts how you want to show up for yourself." Peace.
I love it. Thank you. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Be well.
Be well. Bye. How do I close this?